Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So this is just a short introduction to the two videos I'm going to release in one here. Basically, I've been talking about, if you've seen on my Instagram, releasing a series in July called Wrestling Wednesdays. I've recorded 2 episodes so far. But what I've decided with them is they are a lot like my Action Figure Fridays, and what I wanted to do was something different. So rather than just scrapping them, I'm going to release the 2 videos in one long video, so you can watch it if you want, and just see what you think to what I'm talking about with the figures. In the second episode, which features the Hardy Boys and Lita, you'll see me do a bit of a retrospective look at the Matt Hardy figure in that video. And what I want to do with these wrestling videos is actually make it into a wrestling figure retrospective of the character. So it's something different for the channel, not like the same of what I've been doing. And that's where I've decided I'm going to stop what I was doing with them and actually go on to a plan. And I think I'll do it in a short series format. So I'll do a short series of 3 videos and then start getting ready for another short series of 3 videos. So what I'm planning on doing is looking at 3 characters at a time. So the characters I'm looking for figures for now, old ones and ones that have been previously released, is one's for Ravishing Rick Rude, Shawn Michaels, and my all-time favourite, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. So these are the elite figures I've actually bought for the videos. But the other figures I'm going to be getting are what I'm going to try and pick up from my car boot hunts, eBay, second-hand sellers, just loose figures to build up a sort of retrospective look at the history of the figures. So when I put this together, it all comes along as a sort of look back on how figures have developed of the character, and it can take you on a little bit of a trip down memory lane with some of the outfits they've got on or the way they look. Something I think's interesting. Obviously, after the first 3 episodes have aired in July, we'll get an idea about it. But please stay on this video and enjoy the 2 episodes I had already filmed, and see what you think to them. Obviously, all feedback is greatly appreciated, but I do hope once the episodes start airing in July, you see the difference and see why I've decided to actually scrap the initial 2 videos. So here they are, what I filmed in the first 2 videos. Obviously, I'd love your comments on these videos. Let me know what you think. By all means, there's going to be references so that they're coming out in July, and I'm releasing them today. So let me know what you think. I really would love your feedback. So enjoy. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is the first episode of what is going to be known as Wrestling Wednesdays. So I've been starting to pick up, as you've seen on the car boot videos from the last few weeks and months, a few wrestlers, wrestling figures, to start a small wrestling figure collection. Now, I've been trying to focus on retro characters from the time when I used to really watch wrestling regular. I still watch wrestling on a regular basis, but these are the characters I find synonymous with the wrestling industry and ones that I really remember well. So from the late 80s up until probably until the mid 2000s is when I actually think wrestling is when I'm most fond of remembering the wrestling and the characters that were there. So today I've got an action figure unboxing for you. It is the wrestling figures. It's a twin pack of wrestling figures from the Championship Showdown range that Mattel have brought out. It is basically historic championship battles, and they're pairing them a pair of characters, and then giving them the makeup of their character at the time. So similar to what they were wearing at the time. So this one dates back to 2002, and it is when the Undertaker was the champion at the time and was feuding with an up-and-coming Jeff Hardy. So it comes in a box like this. So these Championship Showdowns, you get a what they have on the current belts, the side plates, and they do double as like a stand for the characters. I'll not be using these because these figures stand quite well. So from the Mattel range, these are basic figures. They're not elite figures. They're just basic figures. But obviously you get two in a pack, and they do come in cheaper than one of the elites do. So a nice couple of figures to add into this fledgling collection. So we'll get into this. You can see on the back as well. This is I believe so it's from series 1 of this. They've just started doing these Championship Showdowns. So series 1, so it's the American Badass Undertaker versus the young Jeff Hardy. So this is the Undertaker when he was when he came back on his motorcycle as the American Badass. So a cool version of the Undertaker, and one everyone remembers from the early 2000s. So also on this collection you can get Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor and Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. So two nice little sets, but both really modern characters, which I am trying to steer clear of for a start with this wrestling figure collection. So I'm going to see which the best way to open this is. Obviously it's a blister pack, so I don't want to damage the box too much. I think this is the way in here. I think it's going to probably damage the box whichever way I go in. Yeah, it is. If I can get it off as tidily as possible, I will do. They are in a got that out, and I'll put this back in a moment. So first of all, we'll get Jeff Hardy out, and then follow up with the Undertaker. So here are the two figures. So also I like picking up this Jeff Hardy. So if you remember, I did pick up going back to April on one of my car boot hunts. I did pick up a Matt Hardy. So and it's an older version of Matt, so I've got the Hardy Boys together now. So there you can see Jeff. So it is in his younger days, so it's before all his tattoos. He's in his white vest. Literally, the face paint is literally just green face paint on his forehead now. He has got his trademark stocking type arm piece on, and then the traditional Hardy combat trousers with white boots. So these basic figures, they just sort of bend at the knees and the legs, and at the arms. Nothing really major with the articulation. There's no chest crunch with the basic figures, head swivels and everything else. But that is nevertheless a nice figure of Jeff Hardy. And like I say, I'm glad to add a Jeff because I have got a Matt Hardy, which I'll show you on the the shelf when I get him on there, because obviously the first two figures I'm actually adding to the shelf prior to filming any pickups that I've got coming up at Car Boots between now and when this episode airs at the beginning of July. So there he is, Jeff Hardy. So the other figure is obviously one of the wrestling greats, is the Undertaker. So this is when he was in his American Badass persona. So you've got the red big evil devil. So the devil's on his t-shirt, big evil red devil there. Dead Man ink on his trousers. So this is the very traditional biker Undertaker. Again, stiff at the knees, but these basic figures are very notorious for just being one-dimensional, no double joints or anything like that, but they are basic. But they do fill a place in a collection, and it is really good to have added an Undertaker of this ilk. So also has his bandana on. This was a really good concept of the Undertaker when he came down. A little bit of a character change. Got to see a bit more personality from the Undertaker, and was really good in the role of the American Badass. One that I like to see him in that role, and I'm sure a few others did. It was a pity when he retired, but age I think catches up with everybody at some point, and he had been entertaining for over 30 years. I can still remember him coming on the scene at the Survivor Series many moons ago, in the late 80s. So there he is, Big Evil, the American Badass Undertaker. So you can see as well they've done some really good facial sculpts for these being basic figures. You can really see the Undertaker in that figure. So really pleased with it, and really happy to add it to this fledgling collection. So we will take these and get them onto the shelf and have a quick look at them. With what's two figures at the moment on there. You will see during these videos that it does expand rather quickly as I add more characters in. But what I do intend to do is not just keep unboxing the new characters. Once I get a few characters I've picked up on Car Boots, I'm going to have a look at the boxes and try and get a bit of historical research into the characters I've picked up and what their box art was like, if I can find it. So that might be a little bit of interest for people who do like the wrestling figures. But we'll put them together now. It is Jeff Hardy and the Undertaker, the Championship Showdown set. So we'll pop these on the shelf. So there you can see the Undertaker and Jeff Hardy together on the shelf. They are with the Matt Hardy Mattel figure I have picked up from a Car Boot. Now the interesting thing is these figures are about 10 years apart in the design, but you can still see Mattel really had the facial design get in there. This was Matt Hardy from 2010, the series 4 of the basic series. But he does display well with the Jeff. Obviously not the right trunks and things of Matt to go with this Jeff, as it's based on Matt 8 years actually in the future, from when these two were battling, Jeff and the Undertaker. But still a nice set of 3 there to display for now. So I hope you've enjoyed that look at the Championship Showdown Undertaker and Jeff Hardy set. I'm hoping this Wrestling Wednesday feature really does take off and brings a few new fans to the channel. It is something different. As a lot of the Funko viewers know, I did clear out the Wrestling Funko collection. But obviously the figures are something that is new, and something that I really think I can do some interesting videos with. Obviously every Wednesday from now on will be Wrestling Wednesdays, so I'm hoping that that really does take off. And if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you mention in the comments what you found interesting, whether you like the two figures, how you think they'll look together, and whether it's a set you'd be interested in collecting. Also, really important, if you can give me a subscription and give me a like. It helps the channel algorithm and helps me keep bringing you these videos on what I hope is going to continue to be a daily basis. Otherwise, that's it from today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of my new series on a Wednesday, Wrestling Wednesdays. So today I've got a couple of figures to look at. Firstly, we have a Mattel Elite figure to unbox and have a look at, and then I'm going to do the first of the retrospective looks at one of the out of box figures I've picked up on one of my car boot hunts, and we'll look about when that came out in the range, and see the box art and what it looked like when it would have come from the shop. But first of all, onto the Elite figure I've picked up. So this is from Series 41 of the Mattel Elite range, which came out in 2016. Now this is the first female character I've got, but she fits in quite well with one of the characters I opened last week, and the character I'm going to show you in the retrospective today. Now I picked up this figure, believe it or not, in a cash converters type store in Grimsby. And the funny story is I'd actually been looking at this online and thinking it's one I quite like the same day. And then when I went in there, I actually saw it, so I thought it's meant to be. I need to pick it up. So the character in question is Lita. So from reading the bio on the back, this figure is modelled on the 2000 version of Lita, which fits quite nicely in the middle of her run with the Hardy Boys, which is quite useful for the purposes of today's video. So as you can see, we've got Lita there. She comes with two different tops you can sit her on with, and the actual figure is just Lita in a sort of bra top, and with a trademark baggy loose trousers with a little G-string hanging out on the top. So nice artwork of Lita on the side of the box, and the same picture on the back of the box. You can see the rest of this range. It was when they were doing like a selection from different genres in the 6 figures in each set. So this is the Elite Classics, so it's a classic figure, so the classic Lita. And in this range you could have got a Raw Dean Ambrose, an NXT Finn Balor, a World Wrestling Federation 1-2-3 Kid, ECW Terry Funk, and SmackDown Ryback. So you can tell it's good 2016 sort of era figure. So let's get Lita out of the box and have a look at her out. So as you can see, the accessories you get with Lita is a yellow top or a white sort of top. Get Lita out first of all and have a good look at it. Get her to pop out of the box. There we go. Oh, that was a problem. The plastic was making her stick. So as you can see, with the Elite figures, they do sort of have a bit more bend at the chest waist area. You can see it more clearly on the male figures. Obviously, but you can definitely see there is a lot more articulation in these figures. Only one joint at the elbows on the Elite still, but nevertheless, still you can still move them around and get them into plenty of good poses. And again, just the one joint on the knee, but you've got a lot more swivel room on there. They do they can get in different positions with the legs. They do rotate all the way around. So yeah, a nice figure of Lita. So you've got her in the as she was in Team Extreme with the baggy combat trousers. With Lita, there was always, you could always see a knicker line hanging out above the waist, and she's got the black bra on. So as I said, with this figure, there was two tops you can get to add to her. So I'll get one of them out now and add it into the onto the figure to tidy her up a little bit. So there's this little yellow vest top, so which does it's Velcro at the back, so should be fairly straightforward to get it onto the figure. Pieces. There's one army. Just needs adjusting to get the hair out of the way of the top on this. So that is done. So there it is. So it is the yellow top, which if you see the thumbnail art at the front, is what she's wearing actually the top. So quite a nice look for Lita there. So we will get her on display in a moment, but we'll move on from Lita and have a good look at the figure that I've got picked up from the car boot out of box in the retrospective look. So you can see here the figure I've picked up is a Basics Matt Hardy. I did show him in the video last week. So this is Matt Hardy. He's got the attire he's wearing in 2010. Now 2010 was the year that Mattel took over the 2009 was the year that Mattel took over the action figure range for WWE. So this was the 2010 version of Matt Hardy. So the stuff he's wearing is accurate to what he was wearing in WWE around 2010 time. So this is actually from I think it's March or April that series. This was featured in series 4 of the Basics range. So this is one of the real earliest Basics figures that Mattel did. So I'm really pleased to have got it in the condition I have. It is pretty much immaculate. Obviously one somebody's picked up and never really played with. So there you can see him. So he's got the blue like key design on his boots and his trousers with Matt Hardy on here. So compared to the Jeff and the Lita I've picked up, he doesn't really fit into the Team Extreme sort of design, as he's not got the actual baggy trousers and sort of similar haircut to what they had around the time of Team Extreme. I think the Jeff figure is sort of like around the time when Team Extreme was coming to the end of its run, when they were going on their individual sort of careers, because it was Jeff v the Undertaker, if you remember. But nonetheless, it is nice to have all three characters from Team Extreme. So I'll just pop up this image of the box art for the Matt Hardy. I've managed to locate it. Like I say, it's series 4 in the Basics line, so you can see the difference in how they've changed over the years. So, like I say, you can see that that box art definitely has transitioned over time. Obviously, this is the Elite, so a much bulkier box to what we are seeing now. But there is a good 6 years between the release of these two figures, so there is a bit of change and development. But I do think it is nice to have a look at the little retrospective looks at some of the out of box figures that I do pick up on my hunts at the car boots, because well, I find it interesting, and I'm sure everyone else does who does like these figures and characters. But as always, we'll take these two and get them on display and have a look at them with the other figures. Obviously, it is not the biggest collection in the world yet, because obviously we're just getting started on this run. But I'm happy to show you them as we get them in. So there you can see we've posed Lita with Matt and Jeff Hardy in the Team Extreme look. Obviously we do need to get a more period accurate Matt Hardy, so I need to have a look and see if Mattel has released one of them, because I will look into trying to grab it if they have. But obviously they are a cool part of the early 2000s WWE, the Team Extreme with the Hardys and Lita. So a nice little set to have put together there. And we'll build into a better collection once we get a few more figures in there. Here's the Undertaker looking a bit lost, trying not to get shot by a Star Wars Flame Trooper. Obviously, we have got some bits to do with fitting in the collections properly, but obviously these are the minimal areas of the collection at the moment. So there we have episode 2 of Wrestling Wednesdays. I hope you're enjoying these as much as I'm enjoying putting them together. It is something a bit different for the channel to have a look at a few wrestling figures and have a little trip down memory lane about how I remember the wrestling back in the day. So obviously in the comments, put what you thought of the two figures I've shown you today. Have you enjoyed looking at the obviously tracking down the out of box figure and working out where it comes in the range? And what other figures do you think I should look for? What characters do you remember from the 80s to 90s to early 2000s? Are there any little gems out there I could find? Make sure you pop it in the comments below. I do like hearing from you and having a chat about the videos I put out. And obviously this is one that I do enjoy doing. That being said, if you have enjoyed the video, please give me a subscribe, give me a like. It does help me grow this channel and keep these great videos coming to you on a daily basis. That being said, that is it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.